Weakness grows when you negotiate with it. Strength grows when you confront it. Every person carries two voices inside them. One that pushes them toward their potential, and one that quietly pulls them away from it. The second voice, the voice of weakness, rarely shouts. Instead, it whispers. It sounds gentle, reasonable, understanding. It says, "You've done enough," when you know you haven't. It says, "Take a break," when you know you should take another step. It says, "Tomorrow will be better," when you know tomorrow will bring the same battle you're avoiding today. And here's the truth most people never understand. Weakness doesn't defeat you. You negotiate your way into defeat. Weakness becomes stronger not because it is powerful by nature, but because you give it room to breathe. You discuss with it, you justify it, you entertain its reasons. And every time you negotiate with weakness, even for a moment, you allow it to expand. You give it another inch, another chance, another argument to use against you the next time. Strength, on the other hand, is not built in comfort. Strength is built in confrontation. When you stand face to face with the part of you that wants to quit and you say, "No, not this time," you plant the seed of an unstoppable version of yourself. That seed grows every time you refuse to bargain with your lesser impulses. Strength grows through repetition, just like weakness does. If you repeatedly give in, weakness dominates. If you repeatedly stand firm, strength takes over. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's not talent. It's a daily negotiation that you must stop participating in. At some point, you have to say, "I am done discussing my goals with the part of me that wants to destroy them." That moment, that exact decision, is the doorway to power. Because as long as you give weakness a seat at the table, strength will never take the head of it. Your life changes when you stop debating what you already know you need to do. Every small compromise becomes a big obstacle later. People often believe failure comes from one big mistake, one major bad decision, one catastrophic moment. But that's not how life works. Failure is built slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. It is built out of small compromises, the little decisions that seem harmless in the moment but become mountains over time. Skipping one workout because you're tired, spending money on something you don't need instead of saving it, putting off a dream because you're not ready yet, breaking a promise you made to yourself because it feels inconvenient today. These compromises feel small, but they multiply. And they multiply fast. Every time you make an exception, you teach your mind that your standards are negotiable. You teach your body that comfort wins. You teach your character that discipline is flexible. And once your identity accepts that pattern, it becomes harder and harder to reverse it. At first, these compromises look like minor detours, but soon they turn into deep potholes, then roadblocks, then full barriers that keep you stuck in the same place for years. And one day, you look back and realize it wasn't bad luck or a lack of opportunities that held you back. It was the dozens of tiny negotiations that slowly stole your momentum. You don't lose control of your life all at once. You lose it compromise by compromise. And the painful part? Most people don't even notice the damage until it has already accumulated into a weight that feels impossible to lift. But here's the empowering truth. Just as small compromises stack up into obstacles, small acts of discipline stack up into breakthroughs. You can rebuild your momentum with choices just as small as the ones that broke it. A single day of discipline can reverse weeks of hesitation. A single promise kept to yourself can restore confidence. A single refusal to negotiate with weakness can shift your entire direction. The little things become the big things. They always do. Self-discipline is the foundation of becoming unstoppable. If you strip away all the noise, all the excuses, all the distractions, and all the temporary emotions that cloud your judgment, you will find one truth sitting at the center of every successful life. Self-discipline is the foundation, not motivation, not inspiration, not luck, discipline. Motivation is wonderful, but it's inconsistent. Some days you feel it, some days you don't. But discipline shows up even when your emotions don't. Discipline is the ability to say, "I committed to this, so I will do it, whether I feel like it or not." People often misunderstand discipline. They think it's punishment, they think it's harsh, they think it takes away freedom, but the opposite is true. Discipline gives you freedom. The freedom to control your direction, your habits, your income, your health, your mind, and your future. Without discipline, you become a follower of your moods. With discipline, you become the leader of your life. Think about how many times your life has been delayed, derailed, or diminished because you followed a feeling instead of a commitment. You felt tired, so you didn't take action. You felt scared, so you didn't move forward. You felt overwhelmed, so you paused your progress. Feelings change by the hour. Commitment stays the same. That is why unstoppable people look so different from everyone else. They don't operate from emotion, they operate from identity. They don't say, "I'll try." They say, "This is who I am now." They don't ask themselves, "Do I want to?" They ask themselves, "What must I do?" Self-discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about doing what you must even when the world tempts you with what's easy. It's about choosing long-term pride over short-term pleasure. It's about keeping promises to yourself, even when no one is watching. Once discipline becomes your default setting, you stop relying on mood and start relying on mastery. You stop negotiating with weakness because you've already decided that your commitment is stronger than your cravings, stronger than your laziness, and stronger than your excuses. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become, and the more you walk across it, the stronger you get. Your future self depends on the decisions you make in moments of weakness. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you are becoming, and the votes that matter the most are the ones you cast when it's hardest, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're discouraged, or when you just don't feel like showing up. These are the defining moments of your life, even though they look small, quiet, and ordinary. Most people think their future is shaped by big events, a new job, a major opportunity, a lucky break. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Your future is shaped in the moments when no one is watching and you're tempted to do the easy thing instead of the right thing. Your future self is always observing you from a distance. The version of you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, stronger, wiser, more successful, is silently hoping you make the decisions today that will allow them to exist tomorrow. Because if you don't make those decisions, that future version of you never shows up. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, your future self becomes a little more real. Every time you choose growth over comfort, your future self becomes a little stronger. Every time you choose action over excuses, your future self steps closer to your present. But every time you give in to weakness, you delay your own potential. Every time you choose comfort over commitment, you shrink the possibilities of your life. Every time you negotiate with the part of you that wants to avoid responsibility, you are borrowing time from your own future, time you can never return. Imagine your future self standing at the edge of your life, watching you choose between quitting and continuing, between excuses and effort, between distraction and direction. Imagine the disappointment when you choose weakness, and imagine the pride when you choose growth. In moments of weakness, you are not just making a small decision, you are shaping the story of your life. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. They look back and see all the times they surrendered to the easier path, and they realize those tiny choices were the reason they never became who they wanted to be. But when you understand this truth early, everything changes. You start treating every decision with importance. You start seeing every moment of weakness as an opportunity to strengthen your character. You start acting with the awareness that your future self is depending on you, and that awareness alone can transform your entire life path. Unstoppable people act based on commitment, not feelings. One of the greatest turning points in life is when you finally understand that feelings are unreliable guides. They shift, they change, they rise, they fall. They can push you forward one moment and pull you backward the next. If you live your life based on feelings, you will always be inconsistent, you will always be unpredictable, and worst of all, you will always fall short of your true potential. Commitment, on the other hand, is steady. It does not depend on weather, mood, energy, or circumstance. Commitment is the internal contract you sign with yourself, a contract that says, no matter how I feel, I will show up. No matter how heavy the day is, I will move forward. Unstoppable people understand this deeply. They don't wait to feel ready because they know readiness is a trap. If you only take action when the conditions are perfect, you will act rarely and accomplish little. But when you act from commitment, you build a life powered by intention, not impulse. Think of a person who goes to the gym only when they feel motivated. They may go twice a week or once a week or maybe once a month, but think of the person who goes because they committed to becoming stronger, even when they're tired, even when they're busy, even when no one is cheering them on. Which one transforms? Which one breaks through? Which one becomes unstoppable? Commitment creates consistency, and consistency creates identity. The more you honor your commitments, the more you trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more impossible it becomes for weakness to control you. This is why unstoppable people achieve things others only dream about. They don't rely on the emotion of the moment. They rely on the decision they made long before the moment arrived. When you start acting from commitment instead of feeling, you reclaim power over your life. You stop being a passenger and start being the driver. You stop being reactive and start being purposeful. And the more you practice this, the more unstoppable you become. The moment you stop negotiating with your excuses, a new version of you is born. There is a line in everyone's life, a line that separates the old self from the new self. And that line is drawn the moment you decide, once and for all, to stop negotiating with your excuses. Excuses are clever. They sound like logic. They sound like caution. They sound like self-care. But excuses are nothing more than lies wrapped in comfort. They exist to keep you safe, not successful. They exist to protect your current identity, not to build your future one. Your life will change dramatically the day you say, "I hear the excuse, but I no longer obey it." That is the exact moment a stronger you steps into the world. A version of you that doesn't argue with weakness, doesn't debate with fear, and doesn't negotiate with the voice that wants to hold you back. This new version of you is disciplined, focused, and committed. This new version of you understands sacrifice. This new version of you doesn't need permission or perfect timing. And here's the truth. This version of you has always been inside you, waiting for the day you choose strength over story, waiting for the day you choose action over avoidance, waiting for the day you decide you are done living below your potential. The moment excuses stop ruling your life, clarity appears. You begin to see what's possible. You begin to feel your own power. You begin to realize that the only thing that ever truly stood in your way was you. So hear this clearly. You become unstoppable the moment you stop negotiating with your weaknesses. That is the moment you rise above your old patterns. That is the moment you break free from the version of yourself that settled, hesitated, and delayed. That is the moment a stronger, sharper, more disciplined you steps forward. Your life is waiting for that version of you, the version that doesn't argue with excuses, the version that doesn't surrender to weakness, the version that moves with intention, power, and purpose. Stand up today and make the decision that changes everything. I will no longer negotiate with the parts of me that want to hold me back. Once you make that decision, truly make it, you will feel something powerful ignite inside you, a sense of control, a sense of clarity, a sense of unstoppable momentum. And from that moment on, you don't just live life, you lead it, you shape it. You command it, because the strongest version of you is no longer waiting for tomorrow. It begins the moment you say, "No more negotiation."